internal. So basically, making games accessible to a wider audience. I think that's the key difference.
Right. And do you think that, by addressing certain areas, and of course we'll talk about these areas, what are some of the key areas that Nokia is hoping to address with this new platform?
So I think that we need to make, first of all, the gaming industry is a fairly complex value chain. You have the developers, you have the publishers, you have the mobile operators, and so on and so forth. And the key question is, how can you sort of lower the barriers of entry from each of these key stakeholders' perspective? So Engage is a platform that makes development again easier. That's sort of a message for developers. It also should make the sales and marketing easier, and that's good for the publishers and from the marketing perspective. And of course the try and buy system for consumers, which is really one of the key features of Engage, should bring the benefits to the consumers. So therefore helping each and every stakeholder involved, lowering the cost, making it easier, making it accessible, that's the mission. It's of course a fairly challenging task, but I think that now we are going in the right direction.
Right. Well, I'm going to bring the discussion back to what Vishal said. This could possibly be for geeks only. I mean, let's talk about the consumer itself. Bryan, what do you think is really the addressable market for mobile games out there? I mean, just to give you a story, a friend of mine, she's a housewife, and her husband got really angry with her just last week because she was late to pick up her kids. And why was she late picking up her kids? Because she was in bed playing with Meteos, which is a game that's published by Gameloft. She needed to complete that level, kill the boss, before she could get out of the house. Otherwise, she'd have to start all over. So, so there should be some autosave function. But anyway, she's a housewife. And so, what is really the addressable market for mobile gamers?
Well, it's definitely, I think you touched on it earlier, many people want to play games, right? So in many senses, gaming can be a killer app, but I think, as we mentioned earlier, there are a lot of challenges. It's kind of for the geeks today. If we can expand it, make it a bit easier to access, easier to use, have a save function and that kind of thing, then hopefully we can expand that particular opportunity. And I think we also have to remember too that it's not necessarily just one solution for every type of user. There's going to be different types of gamers, right? You're going to have the hardcore ones that want the RPG and the shoot-ups and that kind of thing. Then you're going to want the casual ones that say, I'm not into that violent type of thing. Even just solitaire is good enough for me. So in order to really expand this market, what we've really got to do is make sure that we're targeting each of those various segments.
Right. But would you say that out of the overall universe of mobile users, the majority would actually be an addressable market?
Yeah, well, we would hope so. Now, the thing is, I referenced one of my surveys earlier where a good portion of them actually said that they had no need for a game, which suggests then that maybe it's not necessarily that big. However, I would offer the thought that part of that is simply because they're not aware of what's actually out there. And if you can get some kind of even a viral marketing type of an effort where just the buzzword is about this particular game and everybody's playing it, that could potentially change that particular statistic that we got from that survey to show that actually you're going to get the majority of mobile phone users that are interested.
Right. So Vishal, if you look at the consumer today who plays games, would you typically be targeting what Bryan can term as hardcore or casual?
Actually,